All right, I welcome you to this new episode of the Kamala Hariss See program. This is Rodin Mugemadi Afro Pessimist. We are going back to the United States, and today we are going to see or look at the procedures followed when Americans elect its president, how the US will choose its next president, 2024 elections in November 5th. This very year, 2024, election process has been explained. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Muslim that side, don't forget Juma, it's a Friday, and a very good morning. Praise the Lord to the Christians. I am Rodin Mugemadi, Afro Pessimist. Let's dive in. Our topic today, as I've already explained, that how the US will choose its next president. Election process has been explained, or has explained. Process explained as the United States nears its presidential election. The political climate is intensifying, reflecting the high stakes involved. The country is brimming with campaign rallies, heated debates like Tuesday's debate in Philadelphia, tactical endorsements like we saw this Taylor Swift endorsed Harris Kamala, then a surge of social media engagement, all culminating in the pivotal choice of the next president of the United States. In political science, or in journalism, we say, a crash of titans. Now it's between Trump and Kamala. Trump Donald versus Kamala Harris. Former President Donald John Trump, determined to return to the Oval Office, faces a formidable challenge in Vice President Kamala Harris. As the race intensifies, Harris has emerged as a strong contender, creating a fiercely competitive atmosphere that promises to be one of the most watched political battles in recent history. But as the political fever reaches its peak, it's crucial to understand the path that will decide the next leader of the free world. Now, the road to the White House, there is a timeline of events. Now let me explain to you. The United States presidential election is a complex process marked by several key phases that ultimately lead to the inauguration of the next president. Now let's start with the primaries and the caucuses. This happens between January to June. The race to the White House began in the year 2023, with candidates from both major parties announcing their bids, while Joe Biden initially stood out as the leading Democratic candidate. Donald Trump faced a crowded Republican field, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley, and Indian American entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. You remember that. Then the primaries and caucuses conducted across all 50 states. The District of Columbia and U.S. territories played a pivotal role in determining each party's presidential nominee. Trump, confident in his lead, bypassed the GOP debates, while Biden's campaign was later derailed by concerns over his age and mental acuity, ultimately leading to his withdrawal after a poor debate performance against Trump. Now, Kamala Harris, with strong endorsements from Barack Obama, the former president of the United States, Nancy Pelosi, former Speaker, the Clintons, and other key Democratic figures, quickly became the Democratic frontrunner. By the time of the National Convention, Harris had solidified her position, running unopposed within her party. That is amazing. So, there is more from this section. Now, let's look at the National Convention. There's what we call the National Convention. This happens between July to August. The national conventions of both parties, traditionally held in the summer before the general election, are pivotal events in the electoral process. These conventions are where the parties officially nominate their candidates for president and vice president. Of course, in 2024, the Democratic National Convention saw Kamala Harris, now the presumptive nominee, selecting Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. Meanwhile, Donald Trump chose Senator J.D. Vance as his vice presidential candidate. These conventions, while often ceremonial, serve to unify the party behind their candidates and kickstart the general election campaign. Let's move. Now, there is what we call the presidential election campaign. This runs from September to October. The presidential election campaign running from September to October is the most intense phase of the election process. This period is marked by rallies, advertisements, social media campaigns, and most critically, the presidential debate. This year, Trump and Harris have agreed to face off in a highly anticipated debate, which they had on Tuesday. It was hosted by ABC News. The vice presidential debate between Vance and Walz will follow on October 1st on CBS News in America. These debates are expected to play a crucial role in shaping voter opinions in the final weeks of the campaign. Now, let's move to the election day between November 5th, November 5th, 2024. The culmination of the election process is election day, scheduled for November 5th, 2024. On this day, millions of Americans will cast their votes to determine the next president. However, the United States president is not elected directly. I told you about that. I even conducted a program. I made a program on that. I explained each and everything. That the United States president is not elected directly by the popular vote, as it is in most of the countries, various countries like Uganda, like Kenya. So, through the electoral college, a system that allocates a certain number of electors to each state based on its representation in the state, in the Congress. This system, the electoral college, has been criticized for so many years. But what is the electoral college? The electoral college, a unique feature of the United States electoral system, has 538 electors in total. Now, to win the presidency, a candidate must secure a majority of 270 electoral votes. The allocation of these votes is based on each state's congressional representation, making it possible for a candidate to win the presidency without winning a popular vote. Now that is also merited one. Now there is vote counting, December 2024, after the election day. After the election day, of course, the electors meet in December to cast their votes, which are then sent to Congress for counting in early January. The candidate who secures the majority of the electoral votes is officially declared the next president of the United States. Whether Harris Kamala, whether the former president Donald John Trump, like they did it when Biden won, the Clinton, Obama, and how it has always been done. Lastly, presidential inauguration. This happens January 20th, 2025. The final step in the election process is the inauguration, set for January 20th, 2025. On this day, the president-elect will take the oath of office administered by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, officially beginning their 4-year